fights with passion, and he inspires.
Are you ready for a war?
All right, welcome back to From 8 Arbitration, the Sunday edition. Back on Sunday, and that makes me happy. Getting things back on track. Got a lot of stuff to cover. Shouldn't be a long episode, but I'm going to cover a lot of stuff because some people have reached out about some specific things to talk about, so that's what we'll do. The Lions Den, not sure where that's headed. Paul Bolanger is going to take that over. He's going to be the director of education when we take over next year when we win this thing. And so it's going to kind of be revamped a little bit, which is a good thing. You're going to hear a lot more from the CLC, different candidates, their plans, what's going to happen. I told you a while back that's what's going to happen. And so that's going to happen on the Lions Den. And so I'll keep you updated on that because that's where you're going to get to know us best, all right? Now, James and I and others are going all across the country and talking to different branches, different meetings and things like that, telling you what's going on. But this will be a way for all of you to kind of keep up with us, all right? I think that'll be a great thing. Paul's a very great educator, extremely knowledgeable, and so y'all will enjoy that. But that's the Lions Den. If that don't happen Wednesday, if he don't take that over, I'll do on Wednesday. We'll continue on with 6-day counts, all right? He's going to do a 6-day count grievance starter, how we're going to grieve 6-day counts. A lot of people talk about that. We talk about how to defend ourselves on 6-day counts, not a whole lot about how to grieve it. And so he's going to do that as well as a very in-depth, thorough JSOV. All right. And so I think y'all like that. It's going to be very good. 2 things coming up with me. Tomorrow, I'll be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. All right. At Caesars. And there's going to be a meet and greet. Bill Kriebel, Richie Ray, and myself will be there. Make sure y'all come see us. All right. A lot of people talked about wanting to ask me questions face to face. I will be there. I will be there. Any question you want to ask me, I'll answer it. All right. And so I had several people reach out that they want to talk to me. I will be in Atlantic City tomorrow. That's on my word. All right. So look forward to seeing everybody at the meet and greet. Bill Kriebel, Richie Ray, 2 exceptional individuals will be there. And so look forward to seeing everybody. So get your questions ready. Come ask me. All right. Don't say afterwards, I couldn't find you, or I couldn't get there. You got something to talk to me about, come see me. Atlantic City. All right. Tuesday, I'll be in Boston, and we're going to have a fantastic time. Let me read this here. It says, to all fellow carriers who will be attending the National Officer Training in Boston next week, we reserved a function room in the hotel to host a candidates night on Tuesday night. Come join us for a meet and greet, along with live recording of Next Generation Carriers with James Capone, Greg Samilak, and this is Chris McIdley. I hope I said that name right, brother. I apologize if I didn't. And myself interviewing Paul Bolanger, Corey Walton, Tom Rooney, Mike Cariff, and there'll be a question and answer period after that, okay? And so that will be 50 Park Plaza in St. George Room on the 4th floor, all right? Doors open at 5:30. Start the round table discussion at 6:30. So y'all come. If y'all are really bored, come to that. If you want to get some guys sitting around a table answering questions and talking, okay? But it'll give you a good opportunity to come see us, come meet us, all right? And I love to see everybody. I want to meet everybody, okay? And so that's Monday, Atlantic City. Get your questions ready. Come talk to me. We've got a meet and greet. Tuesday, Boston, St. George Room, 4th floor, 50 Park Plaza, Hilton Park Plaza Hotel. Starts at 5:30. All right? Y'all come holler at me. I look forward to it. I always look forward to get out and see my people. Just like this last week, got to go to Chicago to see some of my favorite people on earth, the beautiful ones. Branch 11, Chicago. A fantastic time up there, and they always treat us well, always. I told y'all where I fell in love with this group first was when I got kicked out of the convention in Chicago. I got kicked out, and they took me under their arms, and been in love with them ever since, man. Fantastic group of people. They said, hey, don't go home. Come Friday. We're having a picnic. Come see us. Spend all day with them. And it was a fantastic time. Awesome time. And so got to go see them last week. James Henry got to speak. And if y'all haven't seen it, go look at it. The speech is put up where he's talking. Love that guy, man. Love that guy. He is absolutely amazing. I couldn't be more honored that he asked me to be to run with him as his counterpart, and he's just, dude is first class, man, first class. And so just watching him, I'll talk a little bit about him. Hell, and I'm gonna get into some 6-day count stuff afterwards. But let me just talk about him. I look at that man, the things that he's been through, because he wants to help the city letter carrier. Now, here's a guy who's done nothing but fight for the city letter carriers his whole career. I've always said there can be 10 guys running against him. All 10 together wouldn't have his resume. And that's a fact. As far as the DRT, as far as training, as far as arbitrations, this dude is head and shoulders above anybody else. But I look at that man, and when you hear him, when I was there, so I heard the speech, but I listened to it again after I put it up. And the way this guy presents himself, talks about his faith in the Lord, the things that have happened to that man, and to see him do that, never says an unkind word about anybody, is straight about that business. I said when I very first started this podcast, be about that action. Be about the action of city letter carriers, and that dude has that. Let me tell you what, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Let me tell you what they've done to this guy. Because he came out and said, hey, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring to protect the city letter carriers because my union right now is not doing that. We're not doing a good job of it. Matter of fact, we're doing a horrible job of it. And so he says, I will put myself out there, and I'll run for president because I want to see this thing turned around. I've been an advocate for the city letter carrier for 20 some odd years. So he has a time in his life when he's going through something that will crush most all of us, a divorce. Now, I've been through a divorce, and so I know what he's going through. It crushed me, and hell, it was my fault. But it still devastated me because I hurt individuals. I talk a lot about how I've hurt people in my life, people that I love, my kids, and my ex. And so it absolutely crushed me. I remember during that period of time, I was still doing arbitrations. I was 0 for 6 during that period of time, going through that. I lost 6 in a row. Now, I felt like I was doing the same thing I'd always done. I felt like I was preparing grievance to go into arbitration like I've always done. I felt that way. I studied like I always study, get the case file, went over that like I always do, prep like I always do. 6 in a row I lost during that period of time. It's because you don't sleep. You don't sleep, you're crushed. You're just, and people that have been through it know what I'm talking about. So during this period of time, he's having to do all these different things. He's going through this divorce, which was not his fault. And you have individuals on this executive council, during executive council meeting, take advantage of that, of his state. And they start taking pictures on the sly of this man when he's going through one of the worst times in his life. One of the worst times in his life. And you have some of the sorriest low-down motherfuckers I could ever think of taking pictures of this man with the sole purpose of hurting him further. That's the only reason a common low-down motherfucker would do that. And I would tell them to their face that you're a sorry, low-down piece of shit for doing that. You're taking advantage of a man when he's at the lowest of his low, going through something that has crushed anybody who's dealt with it. And you got a sorry, low-down bastard taking pictures of this man. Rather than praying for him, rather than going up to him and putting their arms around this man and say, hey, James, we're praying for you, brother, during this time. We know you're hurting. We're praying for you. Instead of praying for him, they were praying on him. There's a P-R-A-Y and a P-R-E-Y, two different prays. They were praying on him, not for him. That shows you that there are some true pieces of shit on that executive council. Anybody that would do that. And so you think about that. And they started disseminating these pictures around, making fun of him while this man was going through this time. A godly man, now, somebody who is strong in their faith, has done nothing but advocate for the city letter carrier, and you just got some sorry low-down piece of shit motherfuckers in there taking pictures of him. What do you think about those individuals that do that? What do you think about that? Those that were circulating that to others, trying to hurt this man more than he was already hurting. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you try to hurt this individual more than he's already been hurt? I don't know. Maybe it's just because you're just a piece of shit. Maybe that's what it is. But you look at later on, and they start sending out an arbitration decision. I've talked about this before, but when I see him talking in front of people, and he talks about his faith in the Lord and stuff, refuses to go after anybody. Refuses to. And you see them go up the business agent's office down here, sends people to Cleveland, Chattanooga, or Cleveland, Tennessee, near Chattanooga. Sends them to Cleveland to mail out to every branch president his decision from 35 years ago, where he was found innocent. It was thrown out. But they send that all across the country. Why would you do that? Because you want to hurt this man. Why? Why would you want to hurt James Henry? Somebody who's been an advocate for the city letter carrier, whose resume is impeccable. It's because he's going against the sorry-ass motherfuckers in the establishment. That's why. That's why. You got Renfro making lies up about him. That was confronted at the national convention. Renfro said, hey, I'll talk to him after this. Still hadn't talked to him. You got that. Why would you do that? Why would you make up lies on James Henry? To hurt that man. For what reason? Why? Stripped him of his duties. You stripped him of all of his duties. Now, he is doing the advanced formal step A this week, and then they're taking that away from him. And Renfro's putting somebody doing informal step A training up there. But why would you strip him of his responsibilities? I don't know. To me, and this is just me, all those motherfuckers put together, all of them, Renfro, sorry-ass bastards that are taking pictures of him, the sorry motherfuckers that went up there and disseminated those past ARB decisions across the country, all of them motherfuckers put together wouldn't make a good man. All of them together wouldn't make a good man. And that's what I think of when I see my man up there talking. I couldn't be more proud of him, the way he's handled himself during this time, the toughest time in his life, and people that he trusted are taking pictures of him. People going behind his back, sending out arbitration decisions. The president of this union lying on him, stripping him of his responsibilities. And I see my man up there speaking, man, and I could not be more proud. I could not be more proud. I couldn't be more proud to be associated with James Henry. I'm honored. I'm honored. And so he doesn't talk about people. I will. I think you're a common piece of shit for the things that y'all are doing for that man, only because he's running. Only because he's running. Then they take you got another person running that takes his divorce papers and starts spreading them around. And when he confronts that individual, he said, hey, all's fair in love and politics. All's fair in love and politics. Here you have a guy, like I said, that will not say an unkind word about anybody. Then you got another motherfucker, snake oil salesman, going around disseminating his divorce papers. Why would you do that? Why do people want to hurt that man so much? Why do they want to intentionally hurt that man like they do? I mean, they're intentionally trying to hurt him. What for? Why would you? I was going at a person who started a podcast, came out of retirement, and we were having a good time. If y'all remember, we were having a good time going at each other, man, because, I love that shit. And it gets my juices going, man. I need that. I'm an old guy. So we're going at each other until I realize that I'm going after somebody who's facing bigger demons than me. Bigger demons than me. And I felt bad. I felt bad then. I don't normally feel bad about going after people that come after me, but I did. And I said, I'm not going to mention this individual ever again. I'm going to pray for him and not on him. Because, like I said, he's dealing with things I've never had to deal with. And even though he was glorifying it and justifying it, I could not, and I'm not going to. And so therefore, whatever they do now from here on out, I'm not going at that person, because I realized it's bigger than me, what he's dealing with, the demon that he's fighting. And so I said, I'm going to pray for you, not on you. But you got these other motherfuckers, man. They're praying on James for no other reason than he's trying to defeat the establishment, which he will do. He will do that. I'm going to call it here. I think James will have over 50% of the vote. I do. If you have 2 people running against him, 3 people running against him, 4 people running against him, I say he'll have over 50% of the vote. I think James will get over 70,000 votes. That's just me. Based on the movement that nobody understands still. Nobody understands it. People outside this union that see it, they understand it, because they contact me constantly about, how did this movement get started? I said, it started because the workroom floor is sick and tired of being sick and tired. We talk about that all the time. Light Blue is tired of being run over by both parties. We've been abandoned. How long have I said that? We have been abandoned by both parties. We've been abandoned by the Postal Service because they don't give a fuck about us. And we've been abandoned by our union because they're incompetent fools at the top who have no idea how to fucking lead. And you got pieces of shit like these executive council, most on there, that are kissing this motherfucker's ass and doing things like taking pictures. Sneaky little bastards taking pictures of people that are going through the roughest time of their life. And so they don't understand what's coming. I do. I see it. I hear it. Everywhere we go, I see it. They don't understand that this is lions doing lion-type shit. People talk to me all the time about going motherfuckering. That's the movement. And they don't fucking get it. But they will. But they will. And I will look forward to seeing these motherfuckers pack up their shit when we take back over this motherfucker and get it into competent hands. When you look at Kmetra Lewis, if you knew this individual as a president down in Dallas, you will not find anybody more about that business than Kmetra Simpson Lewis. Nobody. The way she handles herself, professional, adult. The way she goes about her business, professional, adult, is straight about the business of city letter carriers. You look at Rob Kozier, same thing. About the business of city letter carriers. They're not going to be going around hooping and hollering and shit, snake oil salesmen like a lot of people. They're solely about the business, and that's what James has surrounded himself with. Those individuals that have one thing and one thing only on their mind, and that is the business of city letter carriers Light Blue. And that's why I love this movement. That's why I love the CLC. And so, yeah, all of that to say, I'm proud of my man. I'm proud of James Henry for staying above the fray when most people would have cracked under that pressure of betrayal. By people that he trusted, thought, were his friends. And they're not. They're pieces of shit. And so, yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of James Henry. And if you look at the video, if you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Here's a guy that has a heart for the city letter carrier, like nobody you'll ever see. Has spent his life defending the city letter carrier, like nobody you ever see. Has a record like you'll never see. And so good for him, man. Good for him. He's honest. He's truthful. He's got integrity, which nobody else running has. And so that's the reason I've hitched my wagon to him, man, is because we need integrity back in this union now more than ever, okay? And so a lot of people message me, Renfro's mantra now is save our jobs in 2026. You're going to see a lot of fear-mongering going on in local branches because that's the marching orders. People have already reached out to me saying, hey, in my branch, we had our branch meeting, our branch president said, they're doing away with our union next year. They're doing away with it. They're doing away with our collective bargaining next year. The Postal Service is not in Trump's budget next year. And so we got to keep the status quo. Got to keep the status quo because Renfro's the only one who can save us. The one who's done more damage than anybody I've ever known to the city letter carrier craft. And you got motherfuckers coming out saying that he's the only one that can save us. This motherfucker has hurt us more than most management. And that's a fact. Because we pay this motherfucker 300 bills a year to do what he's done to us. Now you see him, they're putting him on everything now. You see this motherfucker's face on everything. He's got this committee of carriers up there talking about collective bargaining. It will probably go to arbitration. He cannot risk having this TA come out again and getting that shit blown up. And so he'll be forced to go to arbitration. And so, you vote for who you want to vote for. These branch presidents are going to come out all this fear-mongering. I'm telling you, pay attention, watch. Because they want the status quo. That's the reason they're after James Henry, is because he's against the status quo. If you look at the slate, it's against the status quo, against the good old boys. You have people running with no slate because they don't care working with the good old boys, the old guard. James has said, we're done with that. We're done with the old guard. We're changing course with this union. Like you said, we're going to address the workroom floor, we're going to address the NALC, and we will handle the Congress and Senate as far as protecting the city letter carriers. And so that was long-winded to say I'm proud of my man James. That's 20 minutes of me saying I'm proud of James. But every time I see him speak, man, I couldn't be more proud. I love that guy. I love that guy like he's my brother. I do, man. And to see sorry low-down motherfuckers take advantage of him, man, it pisses me the fuck off, man, because I know James is not going to go up there and say an unkind word, and I will. We're polar opposites as far as that's concerned. And so I'm going to talk about a couple of things people have been reaching out about already on the 6-day counts. All summer, we've been talking about 6-day counts, trying to educate on 6-day counts. We're going to keep doing that. We'll keep doing it. If I got to do the Lion's Den until Paul can take over, we're going to keep doing it. If you've got issues, reach out to me and I'll talk about them. We're going to do that today. We're going to do that today. A lot of people saying, hey, how do we, educate ourselves on 6-day counts? That's a great question. If you go to from8arbitration.com, if you go to from8arbitration.com and look up episodes, and I'll get you a pen and paper. I'm fixing to give you some episodes. If you go to from8arbitration.com, if you're looking for ways to protect yourself en route, some of them are extremely boring. It's reading, and that puts me to sleep. Y'all know that. You got episodes 179, 181, 183, 185, 186, 188, 193, 195, and 199. All of those are dealing with 6-day counts. All right. And then you can also get into some of JB's, which are the best. And he's talking about 3996s and things like that. Those are also very good for 6-day counts. But again, 179, 181, 183, 185, 186, 188, 193, 195, and 199. Now, if you want to get into Redline Policy, which will help you with the 5-minute PM office time, which I'm going to talk a little bit about today, that's episodes 52 and 67. Talks about Redline Policy. And you will want those because just like in mine, they're saying, hey, take care of all this, all your mistos and stuff like that out here on the street. And then when you get in, we're not doing that. And JB filed agreements for me. We won that. And so that's episodes 52 and 67. 5-minute PM office time, episode 69. Okay? Episode 69. Now, when you deal with these things, go ahead and grieve them. Don't wait and grieve these things on the one big grievance about management not making your route as close to 8 hours as possible. Go ahead and grieve these things now. I know a lot of presidents don't think that way. I do. I'm going to grieve them. JB filed 5 or 6 for me during our week of inspection. And obviously we won all of them, and so they didn't want to take out what they thought they were. And so we did really well, really well. And so episode 69, I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. Next week, I'm going to talk about what are our office functions. I had an individual reach out to me and say, Corey, there's so much going on social media. It's so confusing about what we actually do in the office. Next Sunday, we're going to talk about it, okay? Next Sunday, we're going to talk about it. Wednesday, if I do Lions Den, look, the thing that we're going to win on, they own the office. We own the street. We own the street. It's ours. Everything ever written protects us on the street. All right? Parcels. That's where you're going to win your route. Parcels. Parcels. I've done 100 episodes on parcel delivery. Why? Because it's the most important thing that we have. Parcels. You can make a killing delivering parcels. All right? And so we're going to do that. Here's the most important things to remember. These are the most important things for the city letter carrier on a 6-day count. And I'm going to read them to you. And I've read them 1,000,000 times. The most important thing to remember on 6-day count. The office is theirs. We'll do the best that we can with the mail that we have. The street is ours. The street is ours. Look. They're going to come in and take out what they want to take out. There's nothing we can do about it except grieve it later. I do believe they're going to get over. I think that you're going to have a joint process, like I said, in January. I believe they're going to do that. And any grievances filed will fall under those teams, and we're not going to get compensated. We're not going to be reimbursed for them intentionally coming and stealing from us. Now, those are things that you won't hear from any other education, any other training, anybody else does. They're not going to tell you that they're thieves. They steal. I'm going to tell you that management is the biggest thieves on the planet. Postal management are the biggest thieves on the planet. They will rob you blind and have no remorse. They are in this for one reason and one reason only, and that's to fuck over the city letter carrier. They despise us, and so they will steal from us. You look at clock rings, they steal from us. Clocking carriers out while they're still delivering, they will steal from us. Route inspections, they will steal from us. Remember that. Remember that. And so during this process, you've got headquarters sending down how much they want to take out of these stations before we even go through a 6-day count. Before we even go through it, they'll tell you how much they're going to take out. Now, how is that possible? We haven't done the 6-day count yet. But they'll tell you, well, we're taking out 4 routes. That's what they told me. Got an email from headquarters. JB saw it. Headquarters sent an email, take 4 hours out of, or 4 routes out of Belmead Station. And so I got my carriers ready. They took 2 hours. And so, yes, they're going to steal. Just know that. The reason we do what we do is for us. Documentation for us to protect us. Okay? So when we go through these 6-day count trainings, when we educate ourselves on what to do, and you're saying, what does it matter? They're going to take anything out anyway. It's because when we go in front of an arbitrator, if we make it, if a joint process don't fuck us out of that, when we go in front of an arbitrator, we can say, here's what the carriers did daily. And here's what management did. This is what we caught them doing, talking about street waiting time, where they steal everything, street waiting time, okay? Had an individual message me this week. They're going through a 6-day count. They told them that any comfort stop is on street waiting time. They said that. They're stealing, intentionally stealing. They're thieves. Every comfort stop is on street waiting. I've always said, street waiting, shop stewards, when you're looking at your documentation, street waiting. Street waiting. That's where they're going to rob us blind. Just like this individual saying, hey, they told us that comfort stops, you're on street waiting. No. And we'll address that next week too. Here's the most important thing from us, so get a pen and paper. M304. M304. Now this is something that every day tell your carriers, every day, M304, there's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. The street is ours. It is not management's. The street is ours. 304 protects me. I have no set pace. Somebody sent me something the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. This is something I went and walked with them. Carrier walks very slow, 77 paces a minute. Now that was written down. That was written down on a form. Carrier walks very slow, 77 paces a minute. Do you know what they can do with that? Shove it up their ass. That's what they can do with it. Because why? There's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. So a carrier walks very slow. I'd ask them, well, how fast should I be walking? Because 304 tells me what? There's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. What about M1444? M1444, what does it state? In part, there's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. That's M1444. You had M0304. Now you've got M1444. There's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. What are they trying to tell us? That we own the street. We own the street. How about M1769? M1769. There's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. I think they're trying to tell us something. What do y'all think? Look, they're going to rob us blind. That's who they are. They're thieves by nature. They're thieves. Okay? Make sure that your carriers are doing everything that they're supposed to do as far as parcel delivery and everything. We will catch them stealing. They're going to take out what they want to take out. We will beat them in the grievance procedure. All right? Educate your carriers. Listen to those episodes, as boring as they are. Any kind of route protection you can watch, look at, read, do it. Become experts at 6-day counts. The Lion's Den during the summer, that's all I did was 6-day. I read an entire book for 6 weeks. As boring as that was. But it's on record now. And so you can go back and listen to it without having to read it, and you can listen to it on your route. And it'll put you to sleep, which will also help your times. But episodes 179, 181, 183, 185, 186, 188, 193, 195, and 199. All right. Had a podcast reach out to me this week saying a lot of people were talking to them about 5-minute PM office time. Management is incorporating a 5-minute PM office time during 6-day counts. They're stealing. That's what that is. I did an episode on that. Talked about it just a little bit. That's episode 69. And if you get on episode 69, it'll have a couple of grievance starters for you. It has a grievance that I filed back in 2017, back when they were doing PET and the LOC. That's when we got fucked over. Remember that LOC grievance we had go up? We got fucked over on that. But it talks about those things. It's got an information request in there for you that I had done. I think it said any policy any handbook, manual, provision that discusses 5-minute PM office time. It's a good information request. I would put that as part of my information request. You could have other things, but I want the policy. If management's going to talk about a 5-minute PM office time, that's a policy, okay? Because there's no such thing written in any handbook or manual, and we'll ask for that. I want the provision of any handbook or manual that discusses a 5-minute PM office time. I want the policy, the local generated policy on 5-minute PM office time. I want any email transmission between you and your boss as far as 5-minute PM office time. Because if we just take it as 5-minute PM office time, they got us. All right, we got to grieve it. First, we're going to go to Article 19.2. Article 19.2, when we're talking about a 5-minute PM office time. Because it talks about locally developed policies may not vary from nationally established handbook and manual provisions. Now, where are you going to discuss or see or find anything discussing our PM office duties? That's the M41, right? So the M41 handbook, and that's in these grievance starters, will talk about what we're supposed to do when we come back off the street. That's the reason these red line policies, if you go to those episodes, they'll help you, because that also has everything that we do in the PM. That's episodes 52 and 67. It discusses everything that we do in the PM. Okay, so when management talks about a 5-minute PM office time, it's a very easy grievance to win because both parties at the DRT understand there's no such thing. But if we don't grieve it, if we do it, then they win. Okay, and so we'll grieve it. But Article 19.2, page 2, it's 19, page 2. Locally developed policies. I'm going to say that a 5-minute PM office time is a locally developed policy. Why? Because it's not in any handbook or manual. It's not in any handbook or manual, so it has to be a locally developed policy. May not vary from nationally established handbook and manual provisions. M41 handbook. Okay? And so we'll start there. When you get into the grievance starter, it's got the issue statement. Did management violate Chapter 4 of the M41 handbook via Article 19 of the National Agreement by instructing letter carriers not to perform PM office duties in accordance with the M41 handbook on this date? And if so, what should the remedy be? Also put in there Article 19, page 2, about locally developed policies. Okay? Because what management is trying to implement is a locally developed policy. Now, in Article 30, you're going to have your wash-up time as part of your PM office duties. That is not incorporated into a 5-minute PM office time. That's separate from our duties. We have 5-minute or however many minutes y'all have in y'all's LMOU as wash-up time. That is separate from what we do in accordance with M41. Okay, so whatever you do, add 5 minutes or 7 minutes or how much time you'll have for wash-up time. But it says letter carrier's name delivered this route on this date. Chapter 4 of the M41 handbook sets out the pecking order of daily PM office duties for letter carriers. These duties and the order they are to be accomplished are: A, clock in from the street; B, place collection mail in designated location; C, clear accountable items; D, process all undelivered mail; E, answer official communications; F, end tour of duty. 3, on this date, letter carrier so-and-so were instructed by supervisor so-and-so not to perform some of the required daily PM office duties contained in Chapter 4 of the M41 handbook. This fact is supported by a statement from the grievant in the case file, and you'll get a very detailed statement. It don't have to be too long. When I came back, supervisor so-and-so told me that I had 5 minutes office time, then I had to leave. Obviously, in a 6-day count, they're trying to steal from us. They're trying to keep us to 5 minutes because they're trying to steal from our route. Okay, and we need to grieve that immediately. Contentions. Management violated Chapter 4 of the M41 via Article 19 of the National Agreement when letter carrier name were instructed not to perform all of the required daily PM office duties as required by Chapter 4 of the M41 handbook. Then it's got the remedy. Management cease and desist violating Chapter 4 of the M41 via Article 19 of the National Agreement. That letter carrier each be paid a lump sum payment of $25 as incentive to ensure future compliance. 3, that all payments associated with this case may be as soon as administratively possible, no later than 30 days, and the proof of payment sent so-and-so. Then you've got a request for information for you smaller branches that may not have that, or stewards that don't have a request for information. There's a good request for information for you, and a request for steward time, okay? And all these things will need to be in our case file. And so that's going to be it. They talked about the 5-minute PM office time. That's how I'd address it, okay? Go to episode 69, and it's going to give you everything you know. You've got your grievance starter there. Just get some good statements. The more statements, obviously, the better. It's a very easy grievance to win. Both parties that do DRT, they're not going to send that up to arbitration because the Postal Service knows they'll lose. And so it's just a fact that Postal Service supervisors and managers, they educate themselves on how to steal during 6-day counts. They'll go to training on how to steal, okay? We're in here doing our job like we're supposed to do it every single day. We come in, we do our job like we're supposed to do it, and we're working with people that will intentionally steal from us because we do that. They will intentionally steal from us because we're doing our job the way we're supposed to do it. That's how little they think about you, okay? And that's who we deal with. That's the reason I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the CLC to take over this motherfucker so that these lions can start doing lion-type shit, all right? And we will hold them accountable. John Murphy put out something the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. And it's a survey he did amongst some carriers, and it's kind of the highlights. What affects y'all the most? What concerns y'all the most? Sexual harassment was one of the ones at the top. Mental health struggles caused by management was one of the top ones. Work-life balance, those struggles, that was the top one. Workplace harassment. So 3 of the top 4 dealt with workplace harassment, environment, stress, things that are brought on by that, okay? The CLC is the only one with a plan on how to defeat that. The only ones with a plan on how to attack that. And I see people there laughing at dogs of war, blah, blah, blah. Don't give a fuck. Because we're going to address the toxic working environment on this floor. That is numero uno when we get in. That is priority 1 when we get in, okay? And so that's something that Paul Belanger is going to head up, and we're going to educate people on how to do that. I know how to do it. And so you get district managers involved with that, and you become that inconvenience like I've been talking about. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait to take over and get this shit started. The days of concessions and cowardice will be over. I'm so fucking sick of that shit. I've got a president and don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, called all these carriers up there, which is a good idea. He's not going to listen to one of them. He's going to go it alone. Had an executive council meeting. They do that anyway. He's got all these pictures with him in front of the executive council. They've got to know this fucking clown ain't going to listen to nobody. His job is over. It's not in danger. He's done. He's gone. And so he's not going to do fucking shit except lie to the members. But I'm sick of seeing this motherfucker's face on everything because he has fucked us over intentionally. And it pisses me the fuck off. And you still got these motherfuckers kissing that ass. I don't get it, man. I just wasn't raised that way. I wasn't raised that way. A fucking sorry-ass loser lying son of a bitch. And you got these motherfuckers kissing that ass. I don't get it, man, but they'll be gone too. And so there's your 5-minute PM office time. I got to get off here, man. I got to pack. But, yeah, they'd sent that out to me. Hey, talk about 5-minute PM office time. There you go. Remember, what's important? There's no set pace at which a carrier must walk and no street standard for walking. We're going to keep getting ourselves prepared, all right? This is what we're going through right now. This is it. Something else comes up, that's what we'll talk about. That's what From A to Arbitration is going to be from here on out. This is going to be salted peanuts. We're going to be talking about different things, covering hot topics. When we take over, like I said, every week I'll do a Zoom. And it will be nationwide Zoom to tell you exactly what's going on with me, who I'm talking to, things that could be coming down the pike, not even that will be coming, that could be coming, possibly be coming. So get yourself ready. Y'all can ask me any question y'all want to ask me. Call me a piece of shit, whatever. It'll be live. And so that will happen every week once we take over. It'll be a Tuesday or a Thursday, okay? And I'll have different people come on that are on the executive council or whatever, and they'll talk to you too, all right? And so you want transparency? That's what's coming. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be transparent, all right? I love you, Light Blue. I love you. I promise you I do. I only want the best for you, all right? I'm pulling for you. Every fucking day I'm pulling for you. I'm out there in the streets. Unfortunately, I'm not out there as much as I used to be because I'm going all over the damn place. But I love seeing my people, man. I love delivering my route. I love my customers. I love my coworkers. I've been Light Blue for 33 years now. And so I love my station. I love my coworkers. My son works with me at my station. And so I miss them terribly. I miss them. But this is bigger than me, right? This is bigger than me. We've got to change some shit and get this motherfucker going in the right direction. But I love you more than you'll ever know. And I'm coming. We're coming. And we're going to change some shit. I promise you that. I'm pulling for you every day. I'm pulling for you, all right? So tomorrow, Atlantic City, come holler at me. Bill Kriebel, Richie Ray. And then Tuesday, Boston. Y'all come see us, meet and greet, and we'll answer some questions, have a little round table. That'll be fun, right? That'll be fun. I'll talk to y'all maybe Wednesday. See what Paul's going to do about the Lions Den. If he's not taking over Wednesday, I'll come on Wednesday, and we'll talk some more. May do some parcel stuff. I've done that 50 times. But you want to win in 60 counts? Parcel delivery, all right? I'll talk to y'all later. Have a fantastic week, Light Blue. I love you. Bye.